Have you ever felt paralyzed by the thought of failing? Maybe there's a project you've wanted to start, or a conversation you've needed to have, or a dream you've tucked away because the thought of getting it wrong felt unbearable. The fear of failure isn't just about fear itself. It's often tied to what we think failure says about us. Will people judge us? Will we judge ourselves? Whether it's in relationships, careers, or personal goals, the fear can hold us back, but it doesn't have to. And that's okay. Hello and welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast where we explore the ups and downs of life and remind ourselves that whatever we're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and a passionate believer that every feeling matters and every step forward counts. Each week, we'll dive into real-life challenges, share relatable experiences, and offer actionable steps to help you navigate through it all. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that I'm not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm here to share experiences and insights that have worked for me and others like me. Today we're talking about the fear of failure and how it feels so heavy, how to identify when it's holding us back, and what steps we can take to push through. Here's the truth. Failure is part of the process, and that's okay. First, let's call it like it is. Being afraid to fail is normal. It's rooted in a biological need for safety and a societal fear of rejection. You're not weak for feeling it, and it doesn't mean you're not capable or driven enough. In fact, fear of failure often shows up when something really matters to you. It's a clue that your goals and values are important. But here's the thing. Fear can't be the driver of your decisions. It's like an alarm system. It's helpful to notice, but you wouldn't let your smoke detector run your life, would you? So let's unpack this together and give that fear the place it deserves, in the passenger seat, not the driver's seat. A powerful experience of someone who came through failure is J.K. Rowling. Maybe you've heard of her, the author of Harry Potter series. Before becoming one of the most successful authors in history, Rowling faced numerous rejections. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling with depression, and barely scraping by. Her Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers before it was finally accepted by Bloomsbury. Had she given up on those first rejections, the world would have never known the magic of Hogwarts. Rowling's journey demonstrates that failure is often just a stepping stone to success. It's not about avoiding failure, but about learning from it and using it to fuel the next steps forward. Here's another example that you are most likely able to relate to. Learning to ride a bike. Think about it. The first time you had no idea what you were doing, how you could do it. You just had it in you that you wanted to ride a bike. At first, you fall a lot. Scraped knees, bruised elbows, moments of frustration. Each time you fall, though, you're learning something. How to balance better, how to steer, how to pedal smoothly. Eventually, after enough practice and falls, you find your balance, gain confidence, and start riding with ease. Now you're not just riding a bike. You've proven to yourself that persistence pays off. Pushing through the failures taught you a skill you can carry through life, and it built resilience to tackle future challenges, both on and off the bike. It's not the falls that matter. It's how you get back up each and every time. That's where the growth happens. I have 5 action steps for you. The first action step is to name your fear specifically. Find a quiet place, set a timer for 5 minutes. Write it down. Write down what it is that you are in fear of in detail. Instead of saying, I'm afraid of failing, identify it with specifics like, I'm afraid of launching my business because I might lose money and disappoint my family. Breaking it down helps make it manageable. And then 2, reframe the failure as feedback. Take out a journal or a piece of paper and write down a past situation where you failed, and then list 3 things you learned from that experience. For example, I didn't get that job, but I learned how to improve my resume. I made a new networking connection, and I gained some interview experience. Post these lessons somewhere visible to remind yourself that failure is a stepping stone. 3, start small with a measurable task. Choose one small action you've been avoiding due to fear. For instance, if you're afraid of public speaking, start by recording a short video of yourself talking about a topic you love. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Record it and review it. The goal isn't perfection, it's practice. 4, visualize the worst case scenario and plan. Grab a notebook and answer this question. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen if I fail? For example, if my presentation flops, I'll feel embarrassed. Then write a plan of how you would handle it. I'll ask for feedback, take notes on what I can improve, and remind myself that one bad presentation doesn't define my ability. And 5, celebrate the attempt with a reward. Set a small reward for yourself every time you try something outside your comfort zone. For example, if you make that phone call you've been dreading, then treat yourself with your favorite coffee or relaxing with a 10-minute walk. The reward reinforces the habit of trying, not just succeeding. Take a moment to breathe deeply and ask yourself, what's one thing I've avoided because I'm afraid of failing? Picture yourself with finally taking that step. Feel the relief, the pride, and the freedom that comes with knowing you didn't let fear keep you stuck. Remember, failure isn't a reflection of your worth. It's proof that you're willing to grow. And even if the outcome isn't perfect, your effort is, and you should celebrate that bravery. Let's recap. Fear of failure is normal and often signals something that matters to you. Naming your fear, reframing your failure, starting small, planning for the worst case scenarios, and celebrating attempts can help you overcome it. And failure is a teacher, not a label. The goal isn't to eliminate fear entirely. It's to act in spite of it. Your dreams are worth the risk, and so are you. So when fear knocks, answer back with, I'm trying anyway, and that's okay. So what step will you take this week to face your fear of failure? Remember, progress isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up. You have everything it takes to move forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Trust yourself, trust the process, and keep going. Failure doesn't define you. Your courage does, and that's okay. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of And That's Okay. I hope you found our discussion insightful and that you're leaving with some practical steps to apply in your own life. Remember, no matter what you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from today's topic. Until next week, take care of yourself, honor your feelings, and remember, you're doing the best you can, and that's okay.